In the magical land of Oz, a band of unlikely friends embark on a great journey to meet the all-powerful wizard, each one chasing a dream, a heart, a brain, some courage, and a way home. But with each breath, as they follow the yellow brick road, they're inhaling something far more wicked than what you think.
Somewhere over the poppies, way up high, floats a dust that the witch left, light as a lullaby.
As Dorothy and her friends cross the shimmering field of poppies with the Emerald City just ahead, they suddenly feel soft dust fall around them. But what seemed like snow was something far more dangerous. Lo and behold, these tricks were none other than the Wicked Witch in another attempt to slow Dorothy and her friends down.
Now this should do the trick. This pretty little powder, known in Oz as Ozbesto, might seem harmless, but don't be fooled. Where Dorothy comes from, they call it asbesto. And according to Grimory, the most ancient book in all of Oz, it's a naturally occurring mineral, once prized for its heat resistance and durability. But when disturbed, that's when the real fun begins. These tiny little viruses float straight into their lungs the moment they enter my precious poppy field, nestling deep into the pleural, the thin lining around the lungs and the chest cavity. And once they're in for good. But asbestos doesn't break down. It lingers and it festers into the pleural cavity, and slowly it will weave its magic and stir up information so deep that even a heart, a brain, or a courage can't stop it. Macrophages rushes in, but when they can't break the fibers down, they enter frustrated phagocytosis, a cellular tantrum that activates NADPH oxidase, generates reactive oxygen species, and unleash a storm of pro-inflammatory cytokines. But the real trick, the body's own defense starts working against it. Tumor-associated macrophages and T regular cells slip into quietly, not to damage, but to protect. You thought the spell would put you under a little sleep? Oh no, my pretty. This one's far more permanent. Run, little Dorothy. You may escape my clutches, but you'll never outrun what you breathe in.
Golly, I sure do feel strange.
Oh, Mr. Tin Man, you're resting up again. Here's some more oil.
And together they continue down the yellow brick road, soon arriving at the towering gates of the Emerald City, where they were greeted by an unexpected welcome.
Have you recently visited the field of poppies? Have you noticed any changing in your breathing? Are you experiencing shortness of breath during activities that used to be easy for you? Well, you may be entitled to legal compensation. The wizard will see you now.
As they walk into the wizard's chamber, they suddenly hear a grand booming voice.
Who dares disturb the great Wizard of Oz?
We are definitely not in Kansas anymore.
Fight or flight? Think.
So do we clap? Do we run?
If anyone has a spare pair of lungs, now would be a pretty good time. I could barely breathe.
As Dorothy and her friends rush to the Tin Man's side, the mist fades and the curtains draw back. But instead of revealing a mighty sorcerer, they see a sentimental man in a green lab coat.
Well, folks, you're not the first to come to me. I've been treating munchkins for years. Some cough, same pain, all tracing back to the brutal effects of asbestos. Back in Omaha, before I ever climbed into a hot air balloon, I saw it too. Construction workers, miners, factory hands, and even firefighters all paid the price and came down with something awful in their lungs known as malignant pleural mesothelioma.
Sadly, this wasn't the Tin Man's first run-in with asbestos. Long before he rusted in the woods, the Tin Man spent his days chopping trees in the Wicked Witch's cursed forest, where every swing of his axe sent asbestos dust flying into the air. Decades later, the real damage started to show.
Well, how did this happen, Dr. Oz?
Once inside, those fibers start to disrupt tumor suppressor genes like PRB, P53, and in some cases, even delete the cyclin D-dependent kinase inhibitor 2A gene on chromosome 9, throwing the entire cell cycle into chaos.
Not the cyclin D dependent kinase inhibitor 2A. Don't worry, Tin Man. I'll scare that deleted gene into returning to your chromosome.
Oh, Scarecrow, it doesn't work that way. Once that gene's deleted, it's gone, and it gets worse. Another common mutation is the loss of the BAP1 gene on chromosome 3, a key tumor suppressor. In healthy cells, BAP1 shows up in the nucleus, but in mesothelioma, it's missing, which means that under a microscope, you'll see a clear loss of BAP1 nuclear staining, a crucial clue that sets it apart from other pleural cancers.
So I'm sick?
Not even a heart made of tin can handle this kind of pressure, I'm afraid. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're already showing all the signs and symptoms of malignant pleural mesothelioma.
Sweet Kansas, so this started way before I ever found him in the woods, didn't it? Oh, Doc, how didn't anyone catch this sooner?
Mesothelioma strikes slowly and primarily manifests in older men who are exposed to asbestos in their youth through occupational work. Just like old Tin Man here, the symptoms are non-specific, like a dry cough or mild shortness of breath, which makes MPM so hard to catch. It can cause chest pain, fatigue, weight loss, and in rare cases even hemoptysis, like the rust you've coughed up earlier.
Your tin has been thinning out now that I think about it. I figured you'd start taking Ozempic.
No, Scarecrow, he definitely is sick, but to confirm the diagnosis, however, we can visualize his tumor through different steps. Oh, that's right, Toto. On an X-ray, we can see the telltale signs of fluid buildup, pleural thickening, and masses forming along the lung lining, and even the loss of hemithoracic volume as one lung shrinks. But an X-ray alone won't cut it. A CT scan helps us see how far it's spread, especially if it's crossed into the chest wall or between those tin lung lobes. But to know for sure, we need a biopsy. That's how we confirm the diagnosis and assess the extent of the damage. Then we can move on to treatment. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but right now, we don't have a cure for mesothelioma. Not here in Oz, or even back home.
There must be something that I can do, oh great Oz.
Well, the first line of defense is a chemotherapy regimen of cisplatin and pemetrexed, which are antifolate combinations shown to improve survival and slow tumor growth. Surgical treatment to remove the affected lung, pleura, diaphragm, and sometimes the pericardium depends on disease severity. Newer therapies focus on helping the body fight back. Immunotherapy drugs can block immune checkpoints like PD-1 and PD-1 ligand and CTLA-4, giving T cells the power to recognize and attack tumor cells again. And for some patients, we target the cancer survival tricks directly, using molecular therapies that block key pathways like EGFR and VEGF, which the tumor uses to grow and spread. But ultimately, prevention is key. Don't worry, Dorothy. You can go home now, knowing that we'll do everything we can to help old Tin Man out here.
Dorothy bid her new friends farewell and clicked her heels 3 times to return home. Back in Kansas, she warns Auntie Em and Uncle Henry about the dangers of old insulation, just as a local news report confirms the truth about asbestos. With the danger exposed, they rushed to call in the professionals, because if Oz taught her anything, it's that not all wicked things wear pointy hats. Some just float in the air, waiting to be breathed in.
Oh,